to actually make this video. Wow, I just started recording. Oh, hello. Okay. I find the time, the perfect place, everything to make this video. I'm gonna take my glasses off because you can see in them and that's terrible. Okay, but my name is Taliah. Hello, nice to meet you all. I am a momtrepreneur, 20-something, married, living in Georgia. Just a little bit about me. But I'm a new mom, a new first-time mom. My little one will be 3 months. 3 months very soon on the 17th, and I cannot even believe it. Time has just flown by, and he's so smart and so cute. Might make an appearance later if he wakes up from his nap, so we'll see about that. Hold on, my dog wants to go out. So this video is on pumping, and I want to be very clear on this. It's pumping, it's not breastfeeding, it's pumping. Whether you're pumping because you just exclusively want to pump, or you're pumping to get your supply up, or you're just pumping in tandem with breastfeeding like I'm doing, that's fine. This is just the things that I've learned, that I've picked up just from my personal experience these past almost 3 months, from lactation consultants, from doing a little research, dabbling of my own on the interwebs. So here we go. I'm not gonna number them because I don't know, because I'm not gonna remember what number I'm on. I'm just gonna go and wing it. It is what it is. The number one thing that I want to say before going through all of this is I know fed is best, okay? Do not come for me because I'm talking about breastfeeding and the positives about it. There's reasons why I am choosing to breastfeed. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have the time, I have the means to be able to do that. I don't have to use formula. I produce enough milk, things like that. It's not painful for me, all those other things. I have the patience for it. It's fine. If you use formula, fantastic. I'm glad your baby is being fed, okay? Just want to throw that out there. Don't come for me. One of the things that's super awesome that I knew, but it was just crazy to experience it, was about the antibodies that you have in your breast milk. So I was sick for 2 weeks. I'm at the end of whatever the heck this sickness is. But my baby didn't get sick. He didn't get a sniffle, a cough, a sneeze, nothing. He wasn't fussy at all. Nothing. He didn't get anything. And the doctor said it's because my body's producing these antibodies already to fight off whatever bacteria, virus thing I have going on, right? To make myself better. So of course that's going to be in my milk. And since it's in my milk, he takes it. It's like taking medicine to ward off all of those bad germs. So I just think that's incredibly amazing. Breast milk is magic. But let's go ahead and get into the pumping. So your supply is going to go down if you don't drink water. Number one, I said I wasn't going to number it, but this is really important. Anyways, this is the only thing I'm going to number. It's number one, drink water. Water. You have to drink water. Breast milk is made up 80% of water. So if your water is low, of course, your breast milk is going to be low too. Like, come on, sis. It only adds up, right? So you just got to make sure that you're drinking enough water, and not just liquids. That doesn't count. You don't need all that sugary whatever mess. It's just like, you know how you were extra thirsty while you were pregnant? You're going to be extra thirsty if you're still continuing to breastfeed or pump or whatever. You're giving your child breast milk because you have all of that water that's coming out of your body, since breast milk is 80% water. So drink water. Another thing that you can do that helps your supply apparently is like electrolytes, and of course you can get electrolytes from Body Armor drinks and Gatorade, Powerade, things like that. I did try the Gatorade and it does work. I tried the Body Armor drink, that works too. But you know what else works? Water. Drinking water. Okay. The next thing that I do is I pump when he eats. So he doesn't always, he's not always at the breast, obviously, because I'm pumping for a reason. So I won't pump exactly when he eats, not always. Sometimes I'm able to, because he'll lay in his boppy with the bottle propped up and he'll just drink that and just be chilling and he'll be good to go, or he'll be like on the bean bag drinking the milk or whatever, and I can sit and I can pump, and I'll pump and eat or whatever at the same time. Or if I don't have a chance to pump while he's awake, as soon as he goes down for his nap, I'll pump. So I do that to make sure that my supply is consistent with whatever it is that he needs. I actually think this is how I've kind of created an oversupply, because he doesn't always, whenever he is at the breast, he doesn't always empty my breast, but when you're pumping, you're emptying your breast. Another thing is I look at his pictures or videos of him while I'm pumping to help stimulate more of a letdown. And that just helps for whatever reason. I know, like, you probably heard, I know my sister said that, like, when she was pregnant with my niece, not pregnant with my niece, but like after she had her or whatever, whenever she would hear a baby cry, she would start to leak. Like, our bodies are just created that way. So it does help if you look at pictures of your baby while you're pumping. Another thing is, don't stress. For whatever reason, if you're stressed out, if you're worried about your supply and things like that, and you're constantly just sitting there looking at your pumps while you're pumping, hoping and wondering and praying that you're going to get enough milk this time, you're going to stress yourself out. And that negatively affects how much milk you get also. So don't stress out. Chill. I always like have my phone with me and I'll just scroll or whatever, or look at something, read something, talking on the phone, anything to keep my mind off of pumping. And I get a lot of milk that way. Another thing is lower it from your max. Let me take the tubing out. I have a Medela pumping style advanced pump. So you don't need, I'm gonna take the power off to turn it. So you don't need to turn it all the way to max. I know it says that you do, but you really don't. Turn it to max all the way and then put it up a notch, that notch there. See how comfortable it is. I pump on this notch here. That's what's most comfortable for me. Because you don't need to have it that high. It's not like, there's no correlation with how high you have it and how much milk you're producing. Another thing is, once your letdown starts, go ahead and press that button to stop the excessive pumping, to get it to that that slow pumping, to just pull and draw the milk out. There's no need to continue to try to force a letdown after you've already had a letdown. Just let the milk flow after that. Another thing is, you have to squeeze your milk out, do breast compressions. I assumed that you just kind of put your flanges on there and you're good to go. Like that's it, it'll draw out all the milk that it needs to draw out. The best way to get all of your milk out is by your baby. Your baby knows how to get all of the milk out. Like I said, my son, he does not get all the milk out all of the time, but when you're using a pump to get all the milk out, you're gonna have to do breast compressions. You're gonna have to squeeze the sides, hold them, or push the flanges onto your boobs, up, down, side, side. I do that just to get all the milk out throughout the entire breast. A reason why it's important to empty out the breast is because breast milk is on a supply and demand type of cycle. So if you only empty your breast halfway, say your breast is full, 5 ounces of milk in that one, That's crazy, right? 5 ounces of milk in the one breast, okay? And you only empty out 2 because you're just sitting there letting it pull out, or 3, or whatever, right? And then that's it. Your body's gonna say, oh, she only needs 3 ounces of milk. Why are we making 5? Boom, then it'll lower your supply. So you need to make sure that you're emptying out fully so that you continue to get what you need, or in excess, if that's what you want. I will say, I want to throw this out there, you are not trying to feed your freezer, you are feeding your baby. So do not let it stress you out if you do not have an oversupply. For the longest time, all I had was like 3-4 bags of milk in the freezer. That's it. And that's what he was drinking from every day. So I honestly don't know how this happened, that I have this crazy oversupply. It just did. And if you're only making, some people stress out, so they're only making like 2 or 3 ounces every feeding, and that's okay. Like if your baby is 1 month, that's all they're drinking anyways. You're making exactly enough that they take in at 1 feeding. That's okay. Now my boy is about 3 months, like I said, so he's drinking like 3-4 ounces, sometimes 5 if he's a little bit greedy, at a time, and that's how much I pump out per session. So I actually pumped before this video, and you can see how much I pumped out. This is from my right breast, this is from the left. So you can see I have about 5 ounces here, 3 in this one and 2 in this one. And like I said, that's how much he takes in a feeding. So that is the perfect amount. Another tip for a reason why you need to empty out your breast is so that you don't get mastitis. Mastitis occurs when, you know, it's clogged ducts and things like that. And I got mastitis once, and it was the night of the Beyonce concert, and I couldn't go, and my sister had an extra ticket, and it's just a real sad story. But yeah, it was terrible. It was one night. I was sweating to death. Like, I was hot. I had a fever out the wazoo, and he just wanted to do skin to skin and to be on me. Like, he would not relax unless his skin was touching my skin. And I was like, boy, I have a 101 temp. Like, it's hot. We are sweating together. He didn't care. But emptying your breast fully all the way is going to make sure you don't get those clogged ducts. So there's a tip there. Another thing that you want to avoid is thrush, which is caused from fungus. And so it's the fungus from the baby's mouth to your breast. It will just continue to go back and forth. If you do end up getting thrush, your baby does end up getting thrush, you do want to get antibiotics for that from his pediatrician. But then also you want to treat yourself. If you want to be cheap, like me, I know that tea tree oil is a natural fungus fighter. So go ahead and rub tea tree oil on your breast. Now, I do that every day. I do it at night after I get out of the shower before I'm going to go to bed to let it soak in, because that's not something that you just want your baby to be ingesting. You don't want to rub that on you and then put them on the boob. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. I don't go more than 6 hours without pumping unless it's night. And that's not even always. That's not a guarantee that I will go more than 6 hours. Sometimes I'll get up and pump in the middle of the night. Sometimes I really don't feel like getting up, and I won't. But I get the most milk in the middle of the night and first thing in the morning. Every single time, always, I pump out 10 ounces. Every single time. And a fact about that is there is melatonin in that milk in the middle of the night, which melatonin helps you to sleep. So mark your milk to give that to your baby before you want them to go to bed for the night, and it's helpful. Just because your boob is squishy doesn't mean you don't have any milk. Yes, at the beginning you were getting engorged, but now I only get engorged in the middle of the night, or if I wait 4, 5, 6 hours before the next time that I pump. That is the only time I get engorged and my chest gets hard. That's the only time. But just because your boobs are squishy, that doesn't mean you don't have any milk. You have milk in there. You actually always have milk. So that's something to think about. And make sure you have the correct flange size. So a flange is this thing here. And this flange size is a 24 millimeters. It's the one that came with my pump. I think I'm gonna actually go up a size to the 27 millimeter and see how much more comfortable that is for me. I know they have them fairly cheap on Amazon. You can look and see, but you wanna make sure you have the correct flange size, because that is gonna help you extract more milk, as much milk as possible. The last thing I want to say, if your baby is gaining weight and all you're doing is giving them the milk that you have at your breast or what you're pumping, you're making enough milk. I cannot stress that enough. People feel like, or people are told that you're not making enough milk if you're only pumping out 3 or 4 ounces at each session, but you are. Because if you think about it, if your child is at your breast, that's how much milk they're drinking each time. So every time you pump, if you're getting 2 or 3 ounces, think about it in correlation with how old your baby is. Ask your pediatrician, how much should my baby be taking in if they are drinking breast milk from the bottle? And it's important you say breast milk from the bottle and not formula from the bottle, because that's 2 different things, and your pediatrician should know that. So that's all I'm gonna give you guys. I don't want this video to run way too long, but there's so much that I've learned, just like I said, by looking things up myself, from my personal experience, talking to lactation consultants. There's just so much to know about pumping, about breastfeeding, and it's really a beautiful thing. I truly enjoy it. My child still latches on. He does fine. In the middle of the night, if he wakes up, to help him get to sleep faster, I'll feed him from the breast, just because it's the comfort thing. He falls asleep a lot easier. I can put him to sleep. So that's really nice that he does still take the breast, even though he takes the bottle. Thank you all so much for watching. I have so many other videos in mind that I want to make when it comes to sleeping, when it comes to outings with my baby. I do want to do a nursery room tour, because his room is my favorite room in our house. And I'll let you meet baby. He's still sleeping, which is awesome. I actually have to wake him up in about 20 minutes, which again, I know people say, don't wake a sleeping baby. We'll talk about that in my sleeping video. He sleeps so well. He sleeps on. Thank you all so much again. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to hear a little bit more about what it is that I have going on. If you also are a 20-something mom who's new to this, who's true to this, then comment down below and tell me what you think about pumping, what you've gone through. If you've had any kind of crazy mishap stories with pumping, or if you just have some advice for other women as well. If there's anything you feel I left out, let me know. If there's other videos that you want me to do, let me know. On some future videos, I will be doing some giveaways, so stay tuned for those. And again, I'm Taliah Ayers, and I appreciate you guys watching. That was corny. I really need to figure out how to sign off, so I'm just gonna be awkward in the video. Bye.